Good evening, everybody, and happy Easter. I hope you all had a great weekend. Welcome to my podcast. What comes up, comes out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to sign up for those notifications. That's the only way we're going to be able to keep this momentum going. Please put where you're from or comment on what we're talking about today. So, what I want to talk about today is don't my nails look super duper fresh? Don't get too close now because I have been busy. So some of you all know that I went on vacation with my niece. Hey, Princess Zoe. We had the most amazing time in Destin. I actually burned. I was in band camp in high school. You can see a little bit there. And I know about 45. I mean, Sheryl Crow made a song about it. But for some reason, I forgot to pack it. And the kids had what they needed. So it doesn't hurt as much as it used to. One of my coworkers told me to use aloe. So that's something that I have intentions of picking up. But I did burn. I had a great time. My niece's favorite color is pink. So, of course, Auntie Precious had to make sure I was matching. I hope to be able to post some pictures on Instagram so that you all can see, because I will have a reel later on. Making sure everybody knows that you can, hop over here to my YouTube page. Now, let me tell y'all, Destin, Florida was so beautiful. We actually stayed at the Emerald Boardwalk. I'm saying it wrong. Emerald Grand on the Harbor Walk. I'll find it and I'll make sure I put it in the comments. When my little sister made the reservation, she said, Precious, I only do 4 or 5 stars. I was like, well, great, sis. I'm coming with you. So it was really nice. I wanted to, she kept using the language, this is our villa. We had like 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. There was a balcony so the kids could run around. There was a kitchenette. What I really liked about this hotel is it didn't feel like a hotel. Like there were plates and silverware and cups available in the refrigerator. It just really had a home-like feel to it. So we really enjoyed ourselves. And I'm sorry, I cannot recall the name of the property, but I do know that the name Emerald Grand Harbor. I can't recall, sorry. But it is a great place for you all to go. What I also liked about this facility or resort is we parked underneath the garage and we didn't have to go anywhere else, because it's kind of like when you go to the fair, you know how they have like food trucks, eateries. This was all available on one property. Now across from where we're at, there was Whataburger. Did not know that was a thing. Enjoyed it. Also got the patty melt, brought it home. It was great too. So anytime you get a chance to go to Destin, Florida, make sure you try out Whataburger. So we went to the beach the first night. Actually, the first night we did the escape room. And let me just tell y'all, I thought people were going to be jumping out, kind of like at the haunted house. I was a little bit hesitant. We ended up doing it. People weren't jumping out. We were doing the one with the zombies. And it instantly made me think about Resident Evil. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to have people that's been taken over by the umbrella company. And how do we defuse it, So it was not 100% like that in the sense where, people were coming out and crooked. But it was puzzles. And it was 8 of us in there. Even with my nephew, who's 2, and my niece, who's 7. We had a really good time, though. Got to give mad shout outs to my nephew, Jalen, as well as my nephew, Seth, and my sister Support, because we kept our cool. We were trying to, figure out what was what. My brother-in-law, Juan, did a great job holding Dash because he fell asleep and keeping Princess Zoe together. So we had a really good time. And my sister Sarah, she was in there helping too, loud as she could be, but she was in there helping that. So I appreciate my sister. So then the next night, we actually did go to the beach, and so we had to take a boat. It was a platoon. They have a private beach. That's what my little sister told me. So it was nice. The sand was white. That's where I ended up burning. Then the day after that, we ended up going to AJ's, and we had seafood, which was really nice. And then we went to the pool the day we got ready to leave. And I got a chance to wear one of these bathing suits that I'd had for like 5 years. So we had a really, really good time. And I came back because I had not seen my trainer. What up, trainer? And so I felt compelled. I was like, okay, summertime is coming. You need to make sure you get, beach body ready. And so I came back and I went to work Thursday and Friday, even though I had taken off the whole week. Let me just suggest, if you all take vacation off and it's approved, take the time, okay? Because guess what? The company is going to be fine. Your team is going to do well. They're going to be able to make the decisions that they need to make and find the success that they need while you're gone for that short amount of time, okay? So that's a lesson that I thought I'd learn. Apparently not. But I took my laptop and my little sister was like, Precious, don't work. And so I didn't work. And it was rewarding to not feel compelled to have to answer, my associates' questions, that I could totally immerse myself with my nephews and my niece. So it was really good. So then we worked Thursday. Excuse me. I came back to work on Thursday, and then I went to work on Friday. I got a question. When you all are having meetings and you have people that may be above you, and they imply that they have held conversation and helped you in assessing things when you know there may not have been in-depth conversations or any had at all. What do you do, or how do you have that conversation? Again, there's a full panel of people, so I'll put it in perspective this way. So we've got the doctor, we've got the nurse, and we've got the board of directors that's visiting this particular hospital. And so the doctor doesn't necessarily meet with the nurse to say, hey, these patients need, additional blood testing. And I apologize if I'm using the wrong analogy, but it's the most equivalent that I can come up with right now. Again, this is what comes up, comes out. So, excuse me, you have the doctor, the nurse practitioner. So the doctor hasn't necessarily talked with the nurse about what needs to be done. The nurse practitioner is doing what they normally do. So basically you have the nurse who's the middle person. But because the board of directors happens to have come or they're in the building, the doctor uses language like, yes, these are things that we are doing to make sure our patients get what they need and so that our hospital continues to get excellent. But the nurse and the nurse practitioner, because we all on the same team, are like, but when do we talk about this? Where have we discussed any of this, doctor? Excuse me. I experienced that. And one of the things I do pride myself on is being a great leader. Now listen, that doesn't mean that I'm always the brightest crayon in the box, okay? And my suggestions or ideas may not always be the best or most efficient. However, I'm always willing to take from my peers. In fact, one of the things that people will tell you is she proactively seeks out feedback. It frustrated me, y'all. Ooh, because I didn't know how to say out loud with the board of directors there that's when we talked about this. Excuse me. So I just want to know what y'all do, or what would you do, or what do you plan on doing when and if that happens. So I'm just grateful that I have learned to know my audience as well as having self-awareness and not letting my emotions run me, because when I asked some questions to myself and some of my peers, they were like, I didn't even know you were upset. So I was like, great, that was the point. You shouldn't have known that I was discouraged or felt some type of way. But yeah, share with me what you all do or don't do, or wish you had a done, or coulda, shoulda, proulda. I think if I recall correctly, stole that line from Sex in the City. Bum, da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. That was, I forget what season that was. Anyway, so that was last weekend. So this past Saturday, my mom and my aunt celebrated birthdays. And I'm very grateful to have my mother. She's my only living parent. Happy belated birthday. Her birthday was March. Mom turned closer to Jesus. She moving on up in those numbers. And my aunt's birthday happens to be tomorrow, which is the 10th, but we celebrated on the 8th. So she's closer to Jesus too. So they have some years in between them. So they looked really nice. Again, I post some of these pictures on the gram so that you all would get a chance to see. It was really nice. It was intimate. It was raining, but we still had people that showed up. I was able to actually get some things done around my house. I had my handy guy. He came and he actually finished putting up some of my canvases. So I'm going to step away for a second so I can turn the light on so you all can see some of the pictures that I hadn't put up. Hey, I'm back. Thanks so much for being patient. Okay, so I know I just learned what GRATE WM stands for Get Ready With Me. Take a bit of a tour with me around my home. So when you initially walk through my front door, this is what you'll see. Now, to the left, you'll see yours truly. This was my 37th birthday. One of my coworkers, she does photography on the side. Thank you, Kwamisha.